Alright, back again. A couple of days later. I spared you the boredom of watching me make patterns and carry on. So I didn't really want to move this whole thing until I secured this area. So what I did is I cut out, little sections at a time and welded them back into the areas that were going to stay, and then continued on. So there's 4 patches here. So I cut my way in. Obviously I had this welded up to the bar that was here just to make sure it wasn't going to move, and then cut these 2 out, this one out, and then when I got to this panel here, it drops right down, and it was fairly rusty, so I basically just cut it out while I was there. It's still a little rough down here where it's not joined up, but a lot of this has to be replaced, so leaving this now is probably a good idea, because I'll probably have to just adjust it slightly, but these will be something I'll do last. I don't really want to affect the character of them, to be honest. I think this looks pretty nice, but if I can just get away with taking minimal amounts, and it's rusted all the way up that edge anyway. So, but anyway, this one went down fairly far, and then I welded that one in, and it sort of came down and welded across. So that's part of this panel now. And then this was a piece of this box section, 2.75 mil I think it is, and I welded it in. I got the contour from the piece that I cut out, and I actually followed where the spot welds went from this part. I haven't got this reveal here, so this lip here, so I brought it over about 1 inch further than where the actual end is, and I welded it right in, nice and hot, and then across here, and then just tacked it in place, and then welded it here, ground it down, and then welded it again. I think I did that twice, so I've got a very thick weld here. I'm not even going to bother to grind all this down flat. I'm just going to leave the welds nice and thick. And then I did this patch here, and then because this metal's actually fairly strong and thick still, so I put a bit of rust converter here. I hit it. It seems like there's just a lot of mud on this, which looks like rust, so I think it's the red ochre soil, so it actually just looks like rust. So when I hit it with the stripping wheel on the drill, the paint came through, so it's a lot better than I thought it was, just in most areas. I thought I was going to replace this whole panel, but I think I'll get away with just sandwiching another piece behind this one, at least at the top here, and then rust converting on the inside. I'll probably just paint the whole inside area with tar, and this I'll probably get away with leaving that as well, but I took the bar off here to get access to this area now, because I wanted to double check to see if it was strong enough. The metal's fairly thick here, and it's good on the bottom. This is the only area of concern now for me on this side. This bolt hole, there's a threaded nut that's about 1.5 inches long, and it sits on the inside. That's where the front cross member slash steering support goes on either side. It's the tube. So this one's rusted out, so I'm going to go take a bolt to my local nut and bolt supplier today and get maybe threaded rod. I'm not too sure what I can get, something nice and hard anyway, and then probably work on cutting this out. I don't know if you can see that, but I took before I went any further, I took all these hole marks so that when the time came, I know that my drill hole will be correct. The bolt itself and the nut that goes on the inside I won't weld into place until I've got the actual support in place, like the actual steering in place. Once that's all bolted up and square, and then I'll just come along and tack it, then take it off and then finish weld all the way around. I think that's probably my best bet. But as I said, I'm going to leave all these welds nice and thick. They're pretty rough, but I may take a little bit of the edge off, but I want them nice and thick there. I'm not going to grind anything off that. Some of these balls that come out from the flux core welder I might knock off, but majority of it I'm just going to leave. This won't even be seen, so it doesn't concern me. Here, as I said, this will probably all be cut away. This from this bar where I originally tacked that to that, it's just got a few tacks there, so that'll be cut and then probably cut straight across there, and then I'll make that whole piece and just maybe yeah, fit it up, tack it, and then wait till later. So this one's welded across here, not very well, but it was just enough to hold it in place while I sorted the front end out. So I'm happy with this right now. There's a lot more work to go along here, but as far as moving the frame with this on there at the moment, I'm happy with it. I was planning on using a piece like this to come in at the base. I figured this would have all been rusted out, but it seems like it's fairly thick still. If you look at the thickness of that metal there, there's a little bit of a burr there, but it seems to be quite thick. The rust seemed to have been just in this corner here, and then I had trouble trying to get this off, so the metal was quite thick there. So I was going to box this in with a new metal. There's a little bit of rust just here that's poked its head through, so what I might do is just cut a little reveal out, and then I've got a little tiny dentist mirror on a, you just use for getting behind stuff, so I'll put that in there and then have a good look, and then work out what I'm going to do from there. But I might just cut that out now, or even just put a plate over it. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. So yeah, one side sort of done. Bring it back.